All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the District 96 Beer Factory, and they are out of New City, New York, and this is their F.O.A.P.B, which stands for Father of All Photobombs. So they're calling this one a Northeast Triple IPA that comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is approximately 5 weeks old. So I have reviewed one other beer from District 96 recently on the channel. It was their Political Juice, a 6% Northeast/New England style IPA. It was really good. You could tell it was a lower ABV, hop-forward beer. It was pretty damn good. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was really good. So I picked up that, and then I went to the other end of the spectrum, picked up a triple IPA. Again, this is 10%, and it's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. Now, the one thing about District 96, they don't give a lot of information about their beers. Like, I couldn't even find the hops that Political Juice was using. This one, they did say Citra and Mosaic, so that's good. But outside of that, don't know much about this one. But that's why we have to rely on this immaculate palate. That's actually really terrible. It's not immaculate whatsoever. Let's give it a pour. Yeah, so that's pouring out like a bigger hop-forward, juicy IPA of some sort. When I say it looks like a triple IPA pouring it, not necessarily. It doesn't look like thick and syrupy or anything, but it looks really nice. So let's get a look on this one. So we have a beautiful, dark, like honey orange color. Very dark, murky, turbid, the whole nine. About a finger of this off-white, almost approaching like very light tan, creamy looking head. That looks, honestly, it looks like a big, like 8.5%, 9% double IPA. 10% triple IPA, sure. Let's get a nose on it. That's really nice. So a lot of candied fruit in this one. I like to say a lot of times like Starburst and Skittles. And this one's giving me like confectionery sweetness. So this is more of like the Skittles realm. You could even say like, a lot of times I say peach gummy rings. I guess I could start branching out with more descriptors and say like gummy bears or gummy worms or what's another one a lot of people say that I never say, like fruit roll-ups, stuff like that. But yeah, there's a ton of stone and tropical fruit. I'm getting mangoes and peaches and apricots, and I'm getting like sweet candied pineapple. Like, you ever see those dried like sweet pineapple chunks with the like crystallized sugar on them? Kind of like that. There's not much more. It's just all juice, all fruit. I mean, not as juice. I shouldn't say juice. It's all candied fruit, a little bit of juice, but there's no dankness here. There's no herbaceousness. There's no floral aspect. There's no earthiness. There's nothing really saying that this is a hobby beer. You could almost be tricked into believing that this is all about the fruit aspect. And maybe there is a fruit addition here. If I was doing it blind, I might think like maybe this is like a peach and mango, double IPA or something. A little bit of a slight malty kind of sensation, kind of generic. What the fuck was that? Now I'm getting like a berry kind of weird. I don't know if I've ever used this tasting note, but that's what just hit me. Kind of like, I was gonna say like a stem of a fruit of some sort, and I don't usually get that too often. Like a grape stem or something. Like you peel the grapes off the stems, like kind of more of the stem than the actual fruit itself. There's no like Nelson or anything in here that would provide like, I'm not getting necessarily like white grapes, but I'm just saying like a stem kind of, yeah, like a stemness. I don't know. It smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's really nice. And for 10%, holy shit, is that high the alcohol extremely well. Wow. What I like is that even though I was getting all those candied fruits in the nose, this is not as sweet as I was anticipating. It is a triple IPA, it's 10%. So many triple IPAs or so many imperial IPAs that are 10+%. A lot of times they become way too sweet. That's not the case here, and that's nice. Very welcomed. Body in this one, this is a little bit above medium body. I will probably say this until my channel is shit canned and just done with, but I like when triple IPAs or big imperial IPAs have like a medium to higher side of medium body instead of like a full-on syrupy thing. Just a personal preference. It'll always be a personal preference. I don't want the body to be thick and chewy like a 12% imperial stout or like a big fruit pureed sour. I like that this is a little bit thin for a 10% triple IPA, but that's my jam. Some people might drink it and be like, it's thin. I'm not as big of a fan as if it would have had a fuller body. Just again, personal preference. I think the mouthfeel of the political juice was a little bit better. This has a slight soft smoothness to it, not really creamy. A little bit more carbonation than anticipated for something called a Northeast or / New England style IPA, whatever you want to call it. But it's still nice. I think the body and mouthfeel really nice. Not amazing though. The taste, there's a lot of mango on this one. A lot of, I didn't get in the taste, but mango, honeydew melon, papaya, sweeter, fleshier fruits. Not as big on the stone fruit character from like the peach and apricot. Like the mango's the only thing really hanging on. A little bit of pineapple, underlying citrus tones, tangerine, white grapefruit, things of that nature. As it passes through the palate, those fruits hang with you, but on the back of the palate, there is this earthy, almost slight resiny hop character. Not really big, but it's there. This one finishes with a very mild bitterness and a semi-dry kind of finish. This one definitely does lean sweeter, but I haven't had many triple IPAs that don't lean sweeter. Most of them have a huge sweetness, sometimes unbalanced. This one, a little less than that. Like I said, it's not too sweet for me. It might be too sweet for you. I used to love sweet beers, but over the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, pretty much since I started reviewing beers on YouTube, I think my palate has shifted where I want that moderate bitterness. I want a balance between the sweetness and the bitterness. I want slightly to semi-dry finish. I don't really like full-on like dry finishes where like your mouth is devoid of like any saliva. I don't really like super dry finishes or full-on dry finishes, but I do like that bitterness, and I don't like beers to be super sickly sweet, and this is nowhere in that realm. This has a nice sweetness to it. It's not cloying. It's not overly sweet. It's not sickly sweet. I do think it leans a little bit more sweeter, but it's just not like, punching me in the face with sweetness to the point where I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll drink 4 to 6 ounces of that and then I'm done. No, I can finish this can. I will say the nose was more complex and had more going on, more intensity to the flavors, and it's just dialed back a decent amount in the taste. But it's what is here is really nice. It is candied fruit, but not overly so. I like that earthy, slightly resinous kind of hop finish. I like the fact that it does have a little bit of bitterness to it and a semi-dry finish. Is this amazing? I don't think it is. But here's the thing. I think this is on par with that political juice I had, but 2 different levels. I think that was a really well-made 6% New England style IPA or Northeast IPA. And I think this is a well-made 10% Northeast Triple IPA. I think they've done a pretty good job with what they're going for. So I'm not going to sit here and give this one a crazy rating because I can't, but I'm also not going to be like, oh, this is a bad beer, because it's not. It's a really good beer. It's just one of those beers that I think at the end of the day, it's a triple IPA that is very well made, but it's not anything amazing. So I'm going to have to give it appropriate rating. So I'm going to give District 96 F.O.A.P.B, the father of all photo bombs. I'm going to give this a exact score I gave to their political juice. I'm going to give it a high 4 out of 5, 4.1 out of 5. Can't go much higher. I think if the nose carried over, this would be in the 4 to 5 range. But for me, it's just not one of those beers based on its ABV and what I expect out of the flavors that I can sit here and be like, oh, this is amazing. It's really good though. Price and availability, I believe this, I want to say these were $20 a 4-pack at the brewery. I picked this one up, I think it was like $6 a can at the One Stop Brew Shop in Rochester, New York. Again, they go downstate, they pick up stuff from a lot of New York City breweries and the surrounding areas, and they bring it back. They charge an extra 50 cents to a dollar per can, an extra, $3-4 a 4-pack. They got to make money somehow, but it's cool that they are able to get their hands on stuff like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to grab this unless I went down to New York City myself or traded with somebody from New York City. So really cool that they get, they don't really get distribution here, but the fact that some bottle shops may go pick up their stuff, pretty damn cool. So I don't mind paying $6 for a can of this, or $6.50 or whatever I paid. Availability, I've said this in their other one. I think this is brewery only. Like I said, I don't think they're in New York City, new cities outside of it. But again, $20 a 4-pack, not a bad price for a triple IPA. I mean, if other half did a triple IPA 10%, they're usually $22 to $24 for a 4-pack. Very rare are they in the $20 range. So I think the actual price point is fair and appropriate. So it depends on whether or not you want to pay $5 to $6 for a can of a 10% triple IPA. and if you want to go out of your way to grab their stuff. So anyway, not much more to say about this one. 10%, it hides the alcohol extremely well. The only reason I know this is a bigger beer is because of the body and the mouthfeel and just kind of knowing what a triple IPA kind of feels like in general when you're drinking it. But at the end of the day, this drinks more like 8.5%. So I think this is a really tasty beer. I'd be curious to know other people's opinions out there. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Like I said, political juice, this one, I think I prefer the political juice just slightly more. So I give that one like a 4.11, and this is a 4.1 because I like the fact that for a 6% beer, it still had nice flavors. This one's 4% higher, and I don't think it's that much more impactful than the political juice. It definitely has more flavor, but I don't know if it's 4% more flavor, if that makes any sense. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.